Ernie, looking at the San Joaquin Valley Index for January, what are we seeing? What's happening there?
Our survey of businesses in the four-county area, the Fresno metropolitan area, here at the Craig School of Business at Fresno State, that index was down for the month, but still above growth neutral. We're seeing some of the impacts from the drought are coming back to some of the businesses have linkages to agriculture, and of course agriculture is very important in this part of the country. So the overall index again was above growth neutral. Still it's pointing to very slow growth in the next 3 to 6 months, and we can trace some of that back to the drought, which is having some fairly significant impacts, at least as reported by some of the businesses in the four-county area.
What are we seeing for employment? Are we seeing job losses?
We did track job losses for the month of January, and in other words, the index moved slightly below growth neutral for the month of January. What we're seeing is, even when we're seeing job gains, some of the job gains are temporary, meaning we're seeing an upturn in temporary hiring by businesses in the four-county area. We ask about wage gains for the 2014. About a little more than half of the businesses that we surveyed reported they expected no job gains for 2014. Now that's not good. On average, the wage growth is expected to be about 1.2% for 2014. Now that's well below what we're tracking in other surveys and what we're seeing at the national level. So the overall San Joaquin Valley Index, the overall economy for the Central Valley, the San Joaquin Valley is not quite as strong as what we're seeing nationally, and that is troubling. Still not back to pre-recession employment levels. We're moving in that direction, just not quite fast enough, certainly for those who are unemployed. The unemployment rate is well above 10%, and of course that's much, much higher than what we're seeing at the national level.
What does that have to do on confidence? That has to have an impact on the confidence level.
The confidence drops significantly. Business confidence drops significantly for the month. And of course, again, the drought, it's very difficult to have a real positive outlook on the Fresno economy when you have this drought, which is now affecting businesses tied to agriculture. Of course, it's affecting agriculture, and agriculture is very important for this part of the country. And we're going to see, though, I expect those negative impacts to mount in the weeks and months ahead. But overall, we're still tracking growth in the four-county area for the next 3 to 6 months from the Craig School of Business at Fresno State.
You mentioned delivery lead time and then exports and imports. They're sort of struggling.
They are. The exports were down below growth neutral for the month. The imports were down as well. Delivery lead time was up. Now, what does that mean? Well, it just means that what we're seeing is some transportation issues, and it's very difficult to get a handle on that right now, but it appears that we are seeing, again, the data support some real transportation issues in terms of products coming in and out of companies that we survey. So we'll have to keep an eye on that in the weeks and months ahead as well.
Anything else about the survey?
The price gauge was up for the month, showing a little bit higher inflationary pressure, still within bounds that are not, I should say it's not outside the bounds of being reasonable. We ask about price increases for this year. On average, about a 3.8% gain expected. That's not outside the bounds of what I would call reasonable. So again, even at the national level and in the four-county area that we're tracking, inflationary pressures are increasing, but that's not such a bad thing. Now we'll have to keep an eye on that in the weeks and months ahead. If we did see that bounce significantly higher, that would cause some concerns because, of course, the Federal Reserve is still stimulating the economy, and of course that's having some impacts on prices, but not to a significant degree according to our surveys.